Алаңға қалып шыққан жас қыздар мен жігіттерді ұрып құлатып, қыздарды бөрене сияқты шашынан бір аяғынан ұстап машинаға лақтыратын.
Hello everyone, today our research presentation is dedicated to the December events of 1986, known in Kazakhstan as Желтоқсан оқиғасы. These events became a turning point in the history of Kazakhstan. They showed the rise of national identity, civic courage, and the desire for freedom. In our presentation, we will discuss the background of the protest, what happened on the main square, the consequences, and why Желтоқсан is still important today. In the mid-1980s, the Soviet Union was going through political changes known as perestroika. They were a promise of democracy and freedom, but in reality, many decisions were still made in Moscow without the opinion of local people. On December 16, 1986, the first Secretary of Kazakhstan, Muhammad Kunayev, was removed from his position. Kunayev had been an important leader, respected by many people, but instead of promoting a Kazakh politician, the Soviet government appointed Gennady Kolbin, a person who had never lived or worked in Kazakhstan. This decision felt unfair and offensive to the local population.
Young people, especially students, felt that their national identity and rights were ignored. On December 17, thousands of students went to the main square in Almaty. They came peacefully. They held the Kazakh flag and posters with message about justice and the right to choose their own leader. They did not attack anyone. They did not destroy property. Their goal was simple, to express their opinion. However, the government didn't want to listen. Instead of dialogue, authorities responded with force. Troops, police, and even military units were brought to the square. The protesters were surrounded. Water cannons and batons were used. Students were beaten and chased through the streets. Some of them were taken away in buses and trucks. Despite the extremely cold weather, many students returned to the square again. They showed courage and unity.
After the protest was suppressed, the government started a campaign of punishment. People who participated in the demonstration were expelled from universities, fired from jobs, and arrested. According to historians, more than 8,000 people were detained. Some students received long prison sentences. Many families were pressured and controlled. Some young protesters, such as Lalat Asanova and Karat Ruskulbekov, died under suspicious circumstances. Even though the Soviet authorities tried to hide the truth, news about the protest spread. Желтоқсан became the first major anti-Soviet movement in Central Asia. It was a sign that Kazakhstan was ready for change. Many researchers say that without the courage of the youth in December 1986, independence in 1991 would not have come so soon.
The historical significance of Желтоқсан is very deep. It was not only a student protest, it became a symbol of national revival. For the first time in many years, people openly demanded their rights. These events affected the whole generation, changing the way people thought about freedom, language, culture, and their future. In 1991, only 5 years after Желтоқсан, Kazakhstan declared independence. The spirit of those young protesters lived on. That is why many historians call Желтоқсан the first wind of independence.
Today, this event is remembered across the country. There are monuments, museums, streets, and memorials named in honor of the heroes of Желтоқсан. Books, poems, documentaries, and movies have been made about the protest. Every year, people gather to honor the memory of victims. Schools and universities hold educational programs because every young person should know this part of history. The main lesson of Желтоқсан is that change begins with courage. Young people who were only 17-20 years old stood against a powerful system. They did not have weapons, they only had their voices. but their voices were strong enough to change history.
In conclusion, Желтоқсан is not just a historical date. It is a reminder that national dignity is important, that freedom is priceless, and that one generation's courage can open the road to independence. We believe that remembering Желтоқсан means respecting the people who fought for the future of Kazakhstan.